Hey, good morning, everybody. How you guys doing today? And Thursday seemed like it got here really quick. I guess when you have short weeks like this, that's what happens. All right, we don't have a lot of activity going on. But we do have a couple of stocks we can look at. All right, let's see what we got here. All right, found the right chart. Uh, so Well, since QCOM is up, we'll take a look at it. It's gapping down, but it doesn't look like it has much volatility this morning. Just as I said that, look at what it did. But it doesn't look like it has much volatility this morning. We'll see. Just a second, these deviation bands started opening up, which means the more it opens, the more volatility is on deck for this thing. So QCOM is always on watch. I traded it like garbage. No, I actually traded it good yesterday. It, I just didn't. The second trade just didn't work out. So I actually traded it pretty good. I should have just stuck to that first trade I got and been happy with it. But hindsight's 2020. All right, so you see, where we're at here. Let me see if I need to change the price on this. 70.68. Yes, I need to change the price on this to 70.68. Moved up 30 cents. So we're kind of in the same boat that we were in. Honestly, I would have been looking for this to maybe bounce, get along over this to try and get into, this window up here. But we have to wait and see what this is going to do. But definitely we'll keep this on watch. I'm looking, because we're looking for stocks that have got up or down at least $1 that has some potential momentum in it. So it has to have obviously it has to have a catalyst. QCOM has been really moving, not so much with its own catalyst. It did have it, but after a while it's going to stop working on it. But as long as it's in the front, in people's minds, the front of their minds, it's going to be in play. And so you've got, several downgrades this morning. Edward Jones, Mizuho, couple of people downgraded this thing, which has caused it to gap down. So we'll definitely keep this one on watch. Let me type it in so I will forget. Q. All right, WB. Next one on earnings here. Hold on 1 second. All right, sorry about that. Yesterday morning, it was my wife who was in distress. This morning, it's my mom. But at least she called before 9:30. Um, so well, Ivan, um, low was everybody was gonna have um the low as being on short sale restriction. It's not broker to broker. It's not regulated by the broker. So if it's on short sale restriction, it's gonna be across the board. Yeah, it my whole deal the first look is gonna be for the opening range trade, and after that is continuation. And on an ideal day, like if I had traded um, URBN like I was supposed to yesterday, if I was locked in like I normally am, that would have been an all day trade for me. Because first would have been the opening range, and then the trend continuation, which worked all day. So yeah, that's the ideal setup. That keeps me, gives me less exposure, and I'm still making money. So that's the ideal thing. Obviously, we're not going to have it every day, but that's what we shoot for. All right, WB's had a pretty big sell off on earnings. Um, it's just grinding down slow right now. It's a 52-week low. Now, I love 52-week lows, but I hate it when they're this far, when they have dropped this far. I really hate it because it's so far away. And a lot of times it will bounce back. It will start to bounce and make its run back up. But look at what it has to go through. So it makes it hard for me to buy into all of this resistance. Even though it's showing strength and it's, bouncing back up toward its 52-week low, trying to reclaim it. But here, we'll still put it on watch. It still may, we may get a bounce and it gives us some volatility back down to the downside. But, right now, this is what I'm really concerned about on this. It probably won't give us a home run trade. But in the summertime, home runs are going to be fewer and farther between. Oh, okay. You trade CFDs. Yeah, that's a little bit different animal there. Yeah, short sale restriction was the worst thing that happened to opening range strategy. It's been there for a while, but before, if you shorted the opening range and you caught one of those that's free falling, man, you on fire. NTAP, this one was on earnings yesterday. This reported after the market closed yesterday. Here's another one. Right now, we're not showing a whole lot of volatility in it, but potential. See this one. See that moving average is moved out of the way. See what kind of traffic we got here. Yeah, so we still got a nice window to the downside if it gets some volatility. Because at this point, when we're looking at when we are, building our watch list, at this point we're just looking for potential. Once we find stocks with potential, then when we get closer to the open, I'll kind of narrow down my watch list. It'll be more focused on the ones that are actually showing something going into the open. Now, that doesn't mean that the other ones aren't going to work. It's just that for me, I don't like watching a whole lot of stocks. I like to narrow my focus down to, 2 or 3. And let's say the ones that I take my eyes off of actually work. I could always come back and catch a secondary move, if it's still working. But I want to narrow it down and focus on the ones that I feel are going to give me the best opportunity at the open. So NTAP is good. MRCY, this is on a offering. That's an offering, so I don't typically trade those. What's Momo up to today? You never know with these China stocks. Never know. This is war banning of, I don't even know how to pronounce that. Restricting Chinese companies from capital markets. And I bet you I don't have any shorts. Nope, I knew it. No shares of Momo to short for me, so no need to look at that. I knew it. All right, BBY's on earnings. This one typically doesn't give me a whole lot. You can see right now we're just in the middle of garbage. Or traffic, not garbage. In the middle of traffic. And so it's got to break out of this one way or the other in order for this to really, make any sense. Let's see, 67.14. Go ahead and put that just in case we get a sell-off. I'll know where it's at. 67.14. That's going to be the 90-day. And then we've got 70.75 is the 20. Let's build this one. 70.75. That's the 20. Yeah, Donald, you want to look at the RSI. Because if it's grossly oversold or overbought, then let's say we're looking for a opening range breakout and the RSI is like 85. I'm not going to trade that breakout with the RSI over 85. It's just not. It doesn't make sense. That doesn't mean it's not going to work. It's just that most of the time, you're not going to see it work. And for me, I've got to go with, the odds. So BBY is on deck. And LB, this one really fooled me yesterday. Everything I saw was it was gonna go down. I was ready to short it at the close, and then all of a sudden, it broke the setup. So I did put in a 52-week low yesterday. But I mean, it did have me thinking. All of the numbers I was looking at just pointed to it was not going to make it. But hey, this thing might roll over and come back today. But we're going to keep it on watch. Because it just might do that. But I've seen in this sector, in the retail sector, I've seen a lot of manipulation. And we talked about this, earlier this week when we were looking at some of the retail stocks that were reporting. I've seen a lot of manipulation in this sector, especially the apparel retailers. So I guess I shouldn't be surprised at what's going on, but I still think this is going to turn and keep coming. It's going to keep selling off. Yeah, Ben. We'll drop the top in the wintertime. Because, we only have maybe a couple of weeks that is really, really cold. Other than that, then it's great. It is great. WB. Let me see. WB. On the daily, it is oversold. It is oversold on the daily. All right, so what's up with Baidu this morning? That one could give us a. Is it making 52-week lows? Hold on. Hold the phone. You may be speaking my language. Yes, sir. You speaking my language there, buddy. That was the previous 52-week low before it gapped down. So I'm definitely going to be watching this one. Definitely going to be watching that one. I don't know what's up with IOVA. This one's Breakout City here. Positive results. Is it positive test results? It's kind of what it looks like. Or in an analyst upgrade. Yeah. So this will probably be good for the under under 20 watch. I like this for the under 20 watch. Do we have shares to short? Yes, but it's on margin restriction. Go figure. That's the frustrating part about trying to trade these under 20 stocks. The cheaper they get, the harder it is to find shorts, and they become margin restricted. So go figure. All right, so let's look at the down on earnings today. We looked at WB, we looked at NTAP, CTRP. This one has the volume, but not the gap. Hasn't gapped the dollar yet. Same with this VIPS. Only a 13-cent gap. That's not even a gap. That has some. Now, Sana, this one could quite possibly get on there. It's right at the cusp. It's got 43,000 shares traded. So let's take a look at it. This will be the last one. The last one that we look at. Oh, and you know it. You know it. You know it. 52-week low. I love it. Now this one is, pretty far away too. Look how sold off it is on the daily. But we're not looking for longer term moves. We're looking for short term. So for the short term, we pay more attention to the intraday charts. I mean, you do consider the daily, when it comes to support and resistance, and knowing that this thing is sold off pretty good, we probably won't get a huge sustained move. But if we get some momentum, we can get a nice quick move down, and then it may recover the rest of the day because it's sold off. But that doesn't say we won't be able to get anything down. You may have to restart the chat room, but people are typing. People are typing, and they can hear me. So you may have to restart on your end. Yeah, you can short IOVA. It's just that it's on margin restriction. Which is, if your account's really small, you're going to have issues with that. I'm answering people that are on YouTube. We're live streaming this morning on YouTube, so I'm getting questions there. Yep. So I think I've got 6 here. I've got 6 that I'm going to be watching. We'll probably narrow this thing down. Yeah, and if we have, if QCOM stays looking like it's looking, if Baidu stays looking like it's looking, then, those I'll probably not pay attention to. but I'll determine that as we get closer to the open here. I like, for a 52-week low, I like to see it set up short. I like to see it set up short, but sometimes it won't hold a 52-week low. It'll, try to bounce back and trade back above it. Well, what I don't like is when we get, this is like almost a 5-point gap down from the 52-week low. So, that kind of limits how far it's going to go. So if we only had a 1 or 1.5 point gap down, we had a potential, that has a potential to have a huge sell-off. And really trend down all day. But when you see these that gap so far, you may get an initial move down, a little bit, which may give you a little base hit, but then it'll recover and trade up all day trying to get back to the previous 52-week low. So it's just a matter of waiting. No, Ivan, it doesn't. What I've learned is doesn't matter what the numbers say. It matters what the stock is actually doing. Price action is king. So if the price action is telling you that it has the potential to move, then that's what you go with. Because the market has no rationale, no reasoning, doesn't know anything, doesn't want to know anything. It just moves where people take it. Wherever the traders take it, that's where it's moving. Regardless of what's on the chart, regardless of what we think, what the analysts think, doesn't matter. Wherever the traders take the market, that's where it's going to go. And it sounds simple, but it's really hard for people to understand and to grasp because it really goes against what we believe or what we were led to believe growing up of how things are and how the world works. But the market is its own deal. And that's one of those things that you have to accept if you're gonna be successful in the market. You're gonna see that in a minute. As we get closer to open, I'll explain why I'm getting rid of the stocks I'm getting rid of and why I'm keeping the ones that I'm keeping. But right now, this is the list that I'm watching. So between 9 and 10, 9 and 9:30, I'm watching the price action on all of these stocks. So for me, that's the best way of determining which ones are going to have the best opportunity and which ones are likely to be duds at the open. See, one of the things I had to deal with when I first started was I was being taught a lot of stuff that was just stuff that it sounded good. We're using acronyms and all of that, but it had no bearing on what I was doing. I realized then that price action is the only true indicator. And the only way you could judge that is not through any indicators, but through your eyes. I use the VWAP deviation bands, which is why I really like Thinkorswim, because with those deviation bands, I'm able to see where the pressure is. Is it selling pressure? Do we have a lot of volatility, behind that? Because the VWAP looks at volume and price. And when we're looking at price action, that's basically what we're doing. We're watching the price movement and the volume as those prices move. And so that, the VWAP isn't meant to be a trading indicator or something that you take trades off of. It's, more or less a momentum indicator for me and a volatility indicator. But I actually use the deviation bands more than I use the actual VWAP, which is crazy. Oh, it would help if I posted, wouldn't it? So right now, QCOM is close to falling off the list. It's not really showing me anything right now. We don't really have any conference calls to deal with today. So that's good. If you're not up. All right, guys. So I'm gonna wait a couple of minutes. We don't have any today. IOVA is the only one we were kind of looking at. It's the only one on the scanner. But it's on margin restriction. So, look, let me post it anyway. We do have shares to short, which is good, but it's on margin restriction, which, is really what causes you to get frustrated. All right, QCOM is probably going to be the first one out. It's not really doing anything. First one out. NTAP is kind of the same. It's just not showing anything. No, Baidu is dead as QCOM. It keeps bouncing back and forth, between being on the list and off the list. So, the deviation bands have closed in on it as well. So I'm thinking that might be a little bit choppy. Both of those might be a little bit choppy. Might be bumpy rides. All right, so one of the things that I'm working on for coming up is having a like a newsletter format for the swing trade watch list. Where the things that we talk about, how we will do some market analysis first. We'll talk about the market, what it did the previous week, what we're looking for it to do in the coming week, that, and then throw out the charts for the watch list, with a little bit of narrative to it. Now these first couple of weeks is going to come in the email form. And then you may be getting an attachment in the emails. But that's coming. Also, we're recording. I told you I'm going to record the morning session. So you guys that miss it, you'll have 24 hours to go on and watched, what happened in the chat room that morning. I'll start it probably around this time, around 9:15. I'll start the recording, and when I'm talking about, what stocks I'm going to be trading, and as I'm setting them up on the platform, you guys will be seeing that, and I'll run it until I go to lunch. So the one from yesterday is posted on the website. I did have it on the wrong page at first. I had it on the about page versus the home page, but I've got it on the home page now. So all you got to do is go click on that picture. It'll take you to the link. It's right there. You can't miss it. So I'll be doing that. But also, I want you guys to know my schedule. It's, I'll open up the room at 11. I mean, not at 11. Damn. I'll open up the room around 7, between 7 and 7:30, depending on the morning. But that will change potentially in the summer. But it doesn't make sense to open it up before 7 because Trade Ideas doesn't really start working. It starts working about 6:45, but it's really clicking around 7. So I open it up then. I'm going to take my son to school. I'm back about 8:15. And that's why we start at 8:30. Then I take lunch between 11 and 1. It's, that's when I do mentor sessions for those that it's easier to do it during the lunchtime. But, sometimes I am here after 11 if I'm in a trade or something like that. But I do go to lunch. I do, on those days that I can get away, I will get away. You need that break. You need to get away. After the morning session, you got to take a break, clear your head, get all of that stuff handled in your mind. Something that you got to do. But between 11 and 1 is when I take my lunch break. But I usually get back between 12:30 and 12:45 to try to catch whatever's coming out of the open. I mean, out of the, there's moving out of lunch. Sometimes we get stocks to pick up some volatility coming out of lunch. And that's what I'll be looking for. So, I'm not watching Tesla. Yeah, I usually bring the chart up around this time. Around 9:15 or so, I usually bring it up. And then we'll go through the stocks I have on watch and mark them out. So QCOM I dropped. I'm not going to look at it. BBY, I'm going to keep it on watch. $71.88. This is the 50-day from the daily. And then in the afternoon, about 2:55 to 3 o'clock or so, I've got to leave to go pick my son up, and I'm usually not back until around 4:15 or so. Now that's going to change during the summer months. And when I don't have to go pick him up from school, um, I'll be here 24/7. I don't have to leave in the morning. That's when we're going to start working with pre-market trading. Don't really mess with pre-market now because there's no guarantee, and I don't want to rush back and be rushing in the trades. So once he's done with school and I don't have to take him, I'll be fine trading pre-market. And also, I'll be able to really work. I'll be able to really work the earnings like I want to. It's kind of hard to do because I'm on the road when earnings hits. So I always have to pull over and, to get in a trade or to take a trade or whatever. All right, so that's BBY. NTAP, I'm not seeing anything on. Sina is not really making any moves. Crap. All right, plus, once I'm done working with this guy that I'm working with, I'm going to spend at least a week out of the month I've got a lot of people that are trading with, unfortunately, $500 to $1,500 accounts. So I'm going to spend a week focusing on you guys that are trying to make it happen with what you got. I commend you for it, but it takes a lot of patience and a lot of discipline. It can be done. Most people say no because they don't even want to deal with the stress that it has. But if this is all you got and you want to better yourself, you can't listen to people tell you can't do this. You can do it, but there's a right way to do it. And it's not chasing the Holy Grail. It's not trying to nail, $1,000 day with a $500 account. It's possible, yeah. But the odds are you're gonna lose 1,000, and that's not good. So I'll be spending a week doing that. Because like I told you guys, there's different levels to what we do. You've got when you start, there's a way you have to trade. You can't follow these guys that are supposedly posting thousands of dollars of gains a day, and you have a little account. You can't follow that because there's no way you can manage your risk and execute what they're trying to teach you because you don't have it. But that's not to say you can't get there. So eventually you can get there. That's the goal, is for you to try to get there. All right, which other one I'm looking at? I was looking at LB. This is interesting here, I'll tell you. 2147. This is a 52-week low. Yeah, it looks like Tesla is acting fool here. But not really focusing on it today. Tesla's going to break some people. Look at the spread on it right now. It just keeps jumping. It's up and down, back and forth. Now I may look to trade it later on if it sets up and puts in a good secondary move for me, trend continuation, you can count me in. You can count me in. 22.75. But right now, I am not messing with it. It was a good pre-market trade for sure. All right, so we just want to sit back and wait and watch. See what the market's going to give us. See what the market has in store for us today. Yeah, Frostbite, you didn't know we're all the same person. It's all one person pulling the same strings. See, this is what burns me up, man. This is what burns me up. We get this huge sell-off at the open. Right before the open. So it makes waiting that first 5 minutes extremely difficult. man, look at this. Look at this. Unfreaking real. Unfreaking real. Everything's washing. I mean, just washing. Oh man, this stinks, man. This stinks. Something awful. 67.
INTC.
I mean, it washed right down to the first profit target at the open. So it just killed my trade. It just killed a poor little trade I had in mind. Man, this is heartbreaking, man. This is heartbreaking. Now I'm gonna be switching to the 3-minute, but I haven't fully done that yet. This is just heartbreaking.
Mute.
Oh my God, man.
INTC.
Man, I can't trade it. I can't trade it, man.
UWT.
It's taking out all my targets on the first 5-minute candle. It's left me brokenhearted. Then SINA, this one's on short sale restriction. Which we knew. I mean, we knew that going in. It was going to be on short sale restriction. Look at that. N-Taps on short sale restriction too. See if we can get a hit on this.
UWT.
All right, so we got NTAP was the only one that set up. You know, we had to use the I had to use the because the wick was longer than the body. I had to use the wick. I had to use the body. But it's on short sale restrictions, so it may be a little dicey here. But it's the only one that's set up that I could trade.
WB.
WB was another one.
UWT.
1 minute and 2 minutes too noisy. You know, these moves don't happen that often. So trading off for 1 minute or 2 minutes going to be too inconsistent. So I like to use a 5 minute on this.
NVDA. Mu.
See if we can get to 60. I'm looking for a move to 60 for NTAP. But we got to crack this. This is where it dipped on the first 5 minute candle. We got to crack that. We got to work our way through that.
UWT.
Yeah, WB is resolving. Didn't have patience to deal with it. SINA. All of these are trying to work. They're trying to work.
LB. Mu.
So I'll put a bid out at 60 in case we get a quick dip. Because if we crack through this, we may get a nice dip. So we'll see. And according to plan, I'm taking 2/3 off on the first hit. That's what I'm looking to do.
INTC.
So let's see if we can work this through
Oxy.
the actual 5 minute opening range low. If we can work it through that, get down to the whole dollar.
NVDA.
If we start to struggle, I may go manual on it just to make sure I get it. But here's that quick crack that I was looking for. It just didn't get down far enough. You saw the quick dip. We just didn't get down far enough. So let's see if we can work our way back down. We're running into some buying pressure here.
LB. UCO.
Looking for a quick move down to 60. And that will take out 2/3 of my position.
WV. Mu.
I might have to go manual here. And if we drop into 60 O's, I may have to take it. I don't know.
UWT.
We should get a quick dip down to 60. Come on, come on, come on. It's fighting. It is
NVDA.
fighting for real. Alright. I'm going to go manual here. I'm going to take it here in a minute. I'm going to see if we can
INTC.
get a little bit into the 60 O's. But it looks like it's fighting right now. Come on, let's get that quick dip. There we go. All right, so I took 2/3 off here. Set my stop back at break even. And this is all based on, the reason why I did that is based on the way the market has been treating us over the last several weeks.
NVDA. WV.
So we've got to put our stop back at break even to protect ourselves in case this thing decides to get stupid. So I put it back at 60.50. I'll take some more off. We got a level at 58.76. So 59.25 would be the next stop in between there.
Oxy.
I use market orders unless I have a order sitting out. Then it was going to be a limit. Now, the order that I had initially put out at 60, that was a limit. And so the order I put out now at 25 will be a limit. See, BBY is nice. It sold off too much for me, which is why I didn't take it. It just sold off a little bit too much. WB is nice. We had some really nice movers. SINA, everything on watch today, kind of worked itself out. So great.
NVDA.
I'm not sure what you're asking about at next stop.
Mu.
Not sure what you're asking me. Well, I hope I don't have the one that
SMH.
I bought the one that's not going to give us the second hit. I hope I'm not that guy.
Yuko.
So WB was excellent.
WV.
THNE is nowhere near my radar. It wasn't on my watch list.
Low.
They're really nice on WB. Really nice. You guys that caught WB, that was a decent move on it. Sana, another really good move. And if NTAP decides to
TVIX,
work with us a little bit, that'll be a nice move too. It needs to work with me, man. You got to do a brother right. We needed to get below 59.50s and stay there. It dipped a little bit before, but there's some support here. People don't want it to react. Now, you guys if you're watching level 2, you see what happens when it gets close to 59.50. You see this thing start lighting up. That's telling you that there is support there, and that is a massive supply zone. There's a level down at 58.76 that we're working hard to try to get to. If by chance we get back down there to around 59.60s, 59.50s, I may take some more off. So we'll see. We're going to wait and see if it dips. I don't like the fact I'm looking at the 2-minute chart. We're making, well, we didn't quite make a higher low this time. We did get that dip, but on the 5-minute, we made a higher low here. So I'm not all that happy with what's going on. All right, I'm killing it. I can always get back in this if it sets back up. Everything's bouncing. All of the stocks are bouncing now. So I'm going to get out now, and we will wait and see. I could always, get back in if it starts to reject. So we'll see. Everything started bouncing. So I'm not going to hold through and let it pop and hit my stop. If I need to re-engage, I will re-engage. No, it's a little bit more difficult because it is a stock on SSR. But, it is what it is. Look at it. Now it wants to work. But if I saw it again, I would probably do the same thing. It finally cracked.
NTAV.
And it would have hit me. Talk about bad execution. I was watching everything pop and didn't like what I was seeing.
On.
But that's fine. That's fine. Yes and no.
NTAV. If I was in the situation again and I was reading the price action and I was watching, everything else try to bounce, then yeah, I would have been looking for it to pull back and hit that. But that was just, so that's something I'm gonna have to contemplate. CTRP.
When I do my reflection. Based on what I've been seeing, I think I made the right decision. But today we've had some really good
we've had some really good momentum. So we'll see.
CTRP.
I mean, I can't jump short here. I can't do it. Yeah, thanks. So what I'm doing, I can't really chase this down. No, that wouldn't be a good idea. What I've got to do is wait for a bounce.
UTX.
And we may get a bounce off this level and a rejection. But I just can't roll the dice here. Like for instance, if we're looking at BBBY, here's the bounce.
KSS.
Now, if we reject off of this 90, the 90 day, and then VWAP, if we reject off of this, then this would be a decent trade for me to get in. A trend continuation down. But it's got to reject. If you look at the SPY,
UWT.
it's still trending down. You see this is trying to claim the 90 right here. If it claims it, there's no more trades in this thing. And then, and one of the biggest and hardest emotions that we deal with is, feeling like we missed out on this really huge move. And then we go chasing stuff because we feel like we missed out. And that's the thing. You're going to miss out some days. It's hard. If we're watching 3 or 4 stocks, you have to go with your gut. You have to pick the one that's setting up. You don't know if the others are ever going to set up. So you got to pick the one that's setting up. And the first one was setting up was NTAP.
DPN.
That's the one I picked.
UWT.
And it honestly gave us a solid move. I just didn't catch the whole thing. But that's fine. I can't let that eat away at me. If it does, it would have caused me to chase. It would have caused me to start jumping in trades. that aren't fully set up yet, and I could end up giving back the money that I made. And I mean, we did okay on that one trade. It's not perfect, but it's okay. LB is trading sideways right now. You can see it's kind of trading sideways here. Consolidating. It may be, consolidating for a push, but you got a ton of resistance up here. A ton of it. So it may push up to this resistance. You may get a little hole here, but it may be, if you want to go long, this may be a good trade over this resistance here. But usually you see it consolidate, trade sideways a little bit, consolidate. It's trying to build up strength to, push, make a good move.
KSS.
No, not quite. It would have to bounce all the way up here. I would have to short into this resistance. I'm not shorting into that support. That's why I didn't get back in when we started breaking. I didn't want to short into that support.
LB.
Yep, it's trying to reverse. So you definitely want to see the bounce. We got another minute on this to see what this is going to do.
KSS.
The thing I like about BBBY is it is not on short sale restriction.
DVN.
Damn, why is this thing selling off so hard now? Why not wait until the next candle opens? Wait till the next candle opens, dude. Jesus Christ. All right, here we go. We waited. We're looking for it to continue down. Retest this level here. That's what I'm looking for. What I wanted to see the candle to reject, this next candle to close, and make a new low relative to this candle. That's what I was waiting on. So hopefully it's not a fake. If it was on short sale restriction, I would be I would be concerned about it. But we're not on short sale restriction.
KSS. CTRP. LB.
So I want to see it get through 66. It's just struggling. But we are at 10 o'clock. This is when we start to see the volatility start to kind of dissipate a little bit. So we'll have to wait and see what's going to happen here. Okay, we're going to trade this a little bit differently here.
LB.
Now we'll do the same. I need to do the same thing. I need to take 2/3 off at the first target. Two-thirds off. First target's going to be around 66.80. Unless we get a quick wash. Then I can get a better. I can get a better entry. Come on through 66, please. Oh, damn. Doesn't look like we're going to get it. Oh, crap. Crap. So let's see if this is gonna work its way down. It's got to have a little patience. A little patience here. I hope this support at 66 is not that strong that it's going to knock me out. Damn it. These jerk-offs got it. These jerk-offs got it. Man, they were holding it at 66, these assholes. God damn it. We were starting to look good. Shit. Man, this damn thing is gonna stop me out. This is what. That's what's shitting me right there. On BBBY, this was a rejection of the VWAP, the 90-day. The thing is, I have to wait for this candle to close and then the next one to confirm the rejection before I get in. But my day this morning looks to be done. NTAP just didn't give the best bounce. It tried to bounce, it just didn't get up into the 9 or the VWAP. It didn't get up into it. And that's kind of what I wanted to see happen.
KSS.
I'm starting to feel that frustration again. Starting to feel that frustration. I got a stock that's not on SSR trading like caca. And NTAP, I stopped trading it because I felt, we would damn it. Look at
UWT.
where is my ass kicking machine? I need it like right now.
KSS.
I need that ass kicking machine.
NTAP. SCO.
What 100?
UWT.
No, I don't use the 100 on the daily. I use the 90, which is right here. Yeah, I don't use the 100 on the daily. I'm just going to put this out there. If it hits it, great. That's what my target is. Need to see something here. Come on, thing. Bloop, bloop, bloop.
SCO. UWT.
Now I trade the trend continuation. You know, if the trend continuation is to the upside off a bounce, you know, I'll trade it. If it's a rejection, you know, after a short, then I'll trade it to the downside. Come on, baby. Hit my order, please. There we go. One more cent. One more freak. There we go. All it needed was one more cent. All right, so we can get under 65.77. Now I don't have anything else until, what is that? 64.80. 64.80s is the next one I got.
UWT. UCO.
So 65 is my next target on this. And if it starts to act stupid around 65.25, if it gets there, I may take it off there, but I'm looking for 65.30. I mean 65. Come on, BBY, fulfill your destiny. Fulfill your destiny.
How?
Yeah, the market was really good today.
UCO. SCO.
It was surprisingly good today. So I was happy with that. I'm surprised we got through this. This was the original 5-minute opening range low. Come on down, 65, stay alive. 65, stay alive. 65, stay alive. 65, stay alive. Okay, you little bastard. I didn't tell you to go back. 65. All right, for you, all of you guys that are new to the community, if you scroll down, now I know when you come in the chat, you don't see this whole screen. If you scroll down a little bit, you'll be able to see my order window. You'll see what position is active and what orders I have pending.
UWT.
So, up here's the chart. It's just showing you the arrows where I'm in. But if you want to see the orders and you want to see the actual trades, just scroll down a little bit and you can see. Man, damn. Why? What the hell? What the hell, man? Who's doing this? When I find you, you're not safe anywhere.
He's SCO, Yuko.
Don't let me find you.
UWT.
Because I will hunt you down. You're screwing up my trade. I will hunt you down. I promise you. What my size and stuff is shouldn't have anything to do with what you do. You've got to set your stop and your position size and everything based on your account size. Yours is going to be different than mine. Now, when we start working with the the really small accounts, during that part, then we'll, it'll be specific. More specific, more focused on, what you're doing. Guys, I'm gonna have to take some off here. It doesn't seem like it wants to come down. But you've got to set, what's your max loss? What's going to be your max loss? What's the most you can lose and be comfortable with it? For me, it's going to range from $150 a trade to $200 a trade. All right, I took some off. I don't like the way this thing is trading right now. I don't like the way this thing is trading. And then once you establish that, then you'll be able to have your stop in place. So my profit stop on this is going to be 66.05. Just over 66. I don't like what it's doing here. I don't like the price action. I think I gave it enough time to crack. I knew that if it got stuck at that $0.25 mark, that I was going to have to take it. Because it could get bought up off of this pretty quick. Now that's what I was trying to point out. But after that, just leave the rest on and let it work.
NTAP.
But I want you guys to be ready to get in when I'm getting in. I don't want you to, wait till I get in and then you jump in. It doesn't work that way. That's a good way to lose. So you want to be ready. You know what the strategy is. You know what we're looking for. Your position size should already be set based on, what your risk is going to be. Your max loss risk.
TME.
And let's say for me, and when I start back the month at 5,000, my max loss per trade is going to be 150. That's what I'm comfortable risking per trade. And on any stocks between 50 and $70, $80, somewhere in there, I'm going to look to put 300 shares on. So automatically I know I'm going to have a 50-cent max loss stop. But then before that, I'm going to have a technical stop. And the technical stop typically is going to be the level that I'm basing the trade off of. So if it's an opening range breakdown, it's going to be, the technical stop's going to be the opening range low, meaning that if the candle closes above it and then we get another candle to confirm the claim of that level, then I'm taking it off whether it hit my stop or not. That means technically the trade is dead. Wow, look at NTAP, man. It's going to be on YouTube. I'm not recording it like the one yesterday. It's not going to be on Vimeo. This one is, since we're doing a live feed this morning, it's going to be on YouTube. This looks eerie. This looks almost like yesterday. It looks almost like yesterday. I didn't stick to my stop. I let the price action, scare me out. And look at this. This is absolutely, positively beautiful. Especially for a stock on short sale restriction. Absolutely beautiful. Over 2.5 points. No, the technical stop is once you get one candle to break the level that your trade is based off of, then the trade is dead. I mean, once you get a candle to break it, and then the next candle trades above it, if you're going short, then you got to stop out. I'm trying to find an example of a trade that failed today, and I don't see it. I don't see one that's failed. If you're going to be trading $2,000, if you like, okay, I'm trading with a $2,000 account, then your max loss is probably going to be $60 to $75. That, when I'm trading, when I was at $2,000, I was risking $75. When I was at 1,000, I was risking $50. So 2,000, I got up to $75. That's what I risk per trade. And so whatever your stop size is going to depend on what your share size is. And what your share size is based on
NTAV.
the stock that you're trading. You can have a generic one, but it may not make sense. Each trade is different, so you're gonna have to, adjust based on the trade. Now, if you want to, in the beginning, if you don't want to calculate all of that, and you just want to focus on, just executing, then you could set, a blanket that, okay, I'm going to trade stocks between $20 and $50. And I'm going to have, 100 to 200 share size, depending on the price of the stock. So if you go in 100 shares, then your max loss stop's going to be set at 75 cents. If you go in with 200 shares, then I can't figure that in my head. That's why I use whole numbers. So if you go in with 200 shares and your stop is let me see, what, 37 cents? Yeah, 37, 38 cents. So I would just put it at 40 cents. For me, I like to use whole numbers. I don't calculate. That's where you just really get screwed up trying to calculate a whole bunch of stuff. And it causes you to sometimes miss out on trades. You don't want to go through all of that. LB, I don't really like. I don't, unless it gets some people coming in wanting to buy it. I don't think it's much there. I mean, the market's very red on the day, so I don't. It'd be hard for me to see going long. I mean, the market is really screwed. The swing trades and everything. It's really screwed everything up. To be honest with you. So any long trades, I would be. Well, let's see, BBVY. So this one, it was okay. We got two covers on it. We may be rejecting again. It's probably too late in the day for me to go back in. It's already 10:30. I'm not sure I want to trade anything new.
SCVL, SCVL, HD.
Like I want to put on. I would love to put on a trade to just hold the rest of the day. But I don't see the ideal setup. That's kind of what my issue is. Um, Low is not even on my radar. I don't even know what it's. I mean, it had a good sell-off at the open, but I don't know if it's got anything left in it. It's not something I would trade. It wouldn't be, it wouldn't be on my. No, it wouldn't have made my watch list, and it's not
on any scanner, so it wouldn't be one that I would trade. But if it loses,
SCVL.
if it loses this low here, you might sell off. Doesn't have much
SCVL.
volatility, but it does look weak. I don't like I said, in this market, I wouldn't go long on anything unless it's a reversal. And that would be a short move. It's the only time I would go long. It's trying to set up again, but I don't know if I'm gonna let that crap bake me in. I mean, you get this big pullback and then you get a huge rejection candle, which makes it really difficult for you to manage your risk. Makes it really difficult to manage your risk. So, like I said, at this point, this is the time of the day where you have very low volatility and you have a really good chance of getting stopped out in any trade you take. You have a higher than normal probability of getting stopped out.
Harry.
Yeah, I just don't see anything moving. There's just nothing worth trading. So that's my morning session right there. That is my morning session.
Harry.
Is
has your trade plan given you any indication that it's not going to work? It's just trading sideways, but has it broken the technical level that you have set for it? That's the thing is, if it doesn't give you any indication that it's time to sell, then you got to let the trade work. Got to give it a chance to work. What I'm looking at, what I like maybe is getting into this NTAP and trying to hold it the rest of the day. If it doesn't get away from me. But, at this point, like I said, this time of day, you just don't know. So I think my morning is just, I'm going to leave my morning the way it is. We got, two pretty decent trades. I'm happy with where I'm at. So I'm not going to try to force anything right now. How many accounts do I trade simultaneously? Basically two. I've got the one that I've got my swing trades in. And then I've got this one. My long-term swing account, I'm not really active in it every day, so I wouldn't say I'm trading it, all three of them every day.
TJX.
The DIS swing sucks. I think I'm down over a point on it. The only swing trade that really looks good is what I got left on BA. But I'm just waiting any day for them to buy me in. AOS was looking good, and then the market shit, and then that was it. That trade looked sick too. if you're holding shares short, that means you're borrowing shares from the broker. And if they need those shares back, then wherever you are, they'll buy you in.
TJX.
All right, guys. Thank you guys out there on YouTube for hanging out with us this morning. I hope you enjoyed it. This is this time, especially during the summer. This is the time where you have to focus at the open. We're gonna be focusing pre-market in through the open. Till about 10:30 or so. That's when you're gonna make your most money. And if we're fortunate and we have a stock that's actually slowly selling off throughout the day, then we're going to be good. We're going to be holding on to it. So we'll still be making money throughout the day. We're just not, you're just not going to get the volatility and the moves that you see, between 8 and 10 o'clock. So that's where our focus is going to be this summer. And this is the best time to learn. The summertime is the hardest time to trade, but it's the best time to learn. You learn how to trade in the summertime, then nobody's going to take that away from you. You're going to be solid. That's my contention. You have to that's the only way you get better, is to put yourself in these challenging situations, and it's the best learning experience.
TJX.
But that's what we're going to be focusing on this summer. So, thank you guys for hanging out. And, we'll be doing, I'll probably do another live stream sometime next month. I'm going to try to do like around 2 a month, just to give you guys an idea of what we're doing in here. So take it easy, and I will see you guys next time.